Hello everyone, this is Amit and I welcome you to AI Buzz. Today in this video, we are going to do the linear regression on the Boston housing dataset. If I talk about this dataset, it contains the information about various houses in Boston. Initially, this dataset was present in the UCI machine learning library, but now it has been removed. But we can access this dataset now from the scikit-learn library. So there are 506 samples, you can say rows are there, and 13 features are there. So the main objective of is to predict the values of prices of the houses uh, provided the various features. So let's get started. So initially, we will import what are the libraries required to run this our project. So there are various libraries we needed like NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, Seaborn. So let's run it. So the next step is we will load the Boston housing data set from the scikit-learn library and understand it. So for this, the command is import फ्रॉम sklearn डॉट डाटा सेट्स इम्पोर्ट लोड बॉस्टन। यहाँ पे आपको लाइब्रेरी का नाम जो भी आप डाटा सेट यूज कर रहे हो विच आर ऑलरेडी प्रेजेंट इन दी साइकिट लर्न लाइब्रेरी उसका नाम देना है आपको एंड देन वी हैव टू गिव द नेम लोड बॉस्टन लाइक दिस। ओके, so let's run it. So I have run this command. So now we will understand what are the features, now how they are described, and what is the label. So what are the values like numerical, categorical present in the this data set. Okay, so so for that we will do the Boston dataset dot keys. So it will give what are the important keys which are present in the dataset. So here we can see there is a data present, there is a target, features name is there, okay, file name and description. So let's we will use the this boston.dataset.de description for for getting all the information related to the our dataset. So let's run it. So here you will find all the information provided. Okay, so these are the various, you can say, the columns, the features we have, like CRIM, per capita crime rate by town. Okay, so you can read it. There are various age, average number of rooms. Okay, the nitric oxide concentration in the city. Okay, tax, full value property tax. So there are various, these are the various, you can say, the features which are present. So and there are 506 rows are there. Okay, so initially they are saying that missing attribute values are none, so there is no missing attribute are also. So all the information is provided within the data set itself. So if I talk about, we have seen these are the our features. Okay, now we talk about the our target variable. So MEDV is our target variable. Okay, now you can see okay, it is not given this one is the median value of owner occupied homes in dollars. Okay, $1,000. So this one is our the target variable and remaining are the features. Okay, now we will load the this data set into the pandas data frame. So we will use pd.data frame, then we print the first five rows of the data set. So now the data set is loaded into the pandas data frame, so you can see the table. So these are the various, you can say, features we have. This one is also, and this one is also. So you can see the target variable is currently not present, so we will also include the target variable in our table in the this one pandas data. And we will use this one, this command, boston dataset dot target. Okay, so we will give the name MEDB. Okay, so now it will show. So here you can see our target variable is present. So okay, so now the first step is data pre-processing. So after loading the data, it is good practice to see if there are missing values present in the data. Okay, and we have to remove missing values, the NA values from the data. In the previous, you can say in the first videos, we have seen like I have removed the missing values by using the this fill NA command. So we have used, I think, mean median is used over there. So you can go to the first video if you're interested to see how we can remove the missing values. But currently in this data set there is no missing values present, no NA values present. So we will going forward with it. So here is the command to check if there are any missing values present. Boston dot is null dot sum. So it will, if like I will run it. So you can see there are no missing values present. So if I remove this one, so it will give like this command: false, 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 false. Okay, the binary it will give the binary result like true and false. Okay, so if there is a true, so it means that there are missing values. But it is better, we will look for the combined result sum. So now it is showing there is no missing values present. So now the next step is, after the pre-processing, is the EDA. So it is very very important and crucial steps before the training of the model. So in EDA, what we do, we do some visualization to understand the relationship between the target variables and the features which we have. So I am plotting my, first of all, I will plotting my so the target variable, and I will look about the distribution how it looks. So we will be using the dist plot function from the Seaborn library. So here you can see this one is our so I'm uh, doing the visualization of my target variable. So here you can see it is normally distributed, but there are some outliers also, like here, okay, but we can see it is following the normal distribution. Okay, so now after the this steps, so now the next step will be we will do the correlation metric. So we do the correlation metric is that now we will find some linear relationship between the variables. So we can see how the variables are related to our target variable. Okay, so how how the features they are related or correlated with the target variable. So what, for that we will use the correlation metric. So here you can get the correlation metric. So it is a simple command, Boston dot corr correlation dot. I'm rounding the figure off to 2 digits. So you can it is not compulsory, mandatory. So but I am doing it. So here you will find, so actually the data is not it is shown in the table. So it is better to use some graphs. So for that we use the heat map from the Seaborn library. Okay, so it will show the correlation coefficient range from -1 to 1. So if the value, it means that there is a strong positive correlation between the two variables. So if it is -1, so the variables have a strong negative correlation. Okay, so here we will find the heat map. So here you can see how one variable is related. Sorry, how one variable is correlated to itself or other variables and with the target variable. So from this, we can observe that there are you can say only two features which are highly correlated with the our target variable. So one is the RM, number of rooms, okay, and this one is the ls lstat. So what is this variable? We will look into it. Okay, so 1% lower status of the population. Okay, so this one is the our target variable. This one is the our target variable. So it will showing the high correlation between this variable. So let's check it. Okay, where it is, this one. Okay, so it is showing 0.74. Okay, and rm is this one, so it is also showing zero point 0.7. So if the value is, you can say, greater than zero point 0.5, then we can say it is highly correlated. Okay, so it is showing minus 0.74. So actually we don't we will look only for the magnitudes. Okay, zero point 0.7, it is showing zero point 0.7, the rm is showing zero point 0.7, and the this one is showing 0.74 minus 0.74. So actually, after that, there is also you can say one more we have to do. So that is, we have to check for the multicollinearity. So what is multicollinearity is like, if the variable is related, if the feature is correlated with the other features. So suppose this one is related to this one, so it is better to drop one of the features. So this thing will be covered into feature engineering part. So I will be making the videos on the feature engineering. Okay, also. So in this at that point of time, I will teach you like what is multicollinearity and how to remove it. So, but now for now, just understand one. So, if the two features are collinear with each others, it is, it means that they are same. So, why will use the both of the columns? So instead we can use one column. Okay, so we can see features RAD and text have a correlation of 0.91. Okay, so it is, and the DIS and age have a correlation of 0.75 minus 7.75. So it is better to remove these columns. RAD and text and RAD. So it is showing 0.91 collinearity. So it is better to remove these features. Okay, so now our next step is, we will, now we have found out that the this one LSTAT and the RM, these are highly correlated with our target variable. So now we will do the plot these. So now, we will see, our these two features, that is RM and LSTAT as our features, and we will, take these two features for the forward prediction only. Okay, because these are showing the high correlation with our this one target variable. So now we will using the scatter plot to see how these features, vary with our target variable. So, so I have drawn this scatter plot. So here it you will see it will showing the, the negative linear relationship, and the RM is showing the positive linear relationship. It means that if the value of the, RM increases, the prices also increases, and after the at point value of 50, these become capped at 50. So if I talk about this feature, so it is showing the, the negative trend, the decreased trend. Okay, so it is, you can say, if the value, if the prices increases, so the if the prices increases, the value of the LSTAT decreases. So suppose if the, if the features, if the data is not if the data is not linear, so in that case, we will go for the other regression methods like polynomial or logistic. So there are various other algorithms for the regression, and we will cover these algorithms in the upcoming videos with some examples, practice based examples also. Okay, so now I'm preparing the data for the training the model. Okay, so I am, making my, what is my x and what is my y. So my x are the two features, that is the LSTAT and the RM. Okay, and my y target variable will be the MEDV. So after, I am doing the, the train test split function. So it is provided by the scikit-learn library. So I will train my 80% of the sample and test with the 20% of the sample. So for that, I'm doing the x train y x train x test y train y. So actually you must be aware of this function. So I'm doing that train test field. So here these are the hyperparameters. So test size 20% and random state 5. I already covered these things in the my first video. So if you're interested, you can go to the my first video and learn about it. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, uh, let's run this one. So now, so total, here you can see, so various actually I have printed all the values of this. Okay, so so data is now segregated in the test and train data sets. So now we will do the training and the testing of the model. So we will import this linear model from the sklearn library. We will import linear regression and we will fit with the our train data sets, that is the x train and y train. So here, okay, now it is run. So sorry for the disturbance. So the our model is now created. So if we look like now the model is created. Now we can calculate the accuracy of our model. So we will passing the x test and y test, and the means that the training we have done the training, and now we will testing on the 20% data set, that is the testing data set. So now the accuracy it is showing is the 60%. But I think for the first initially we are learning this linear regression. Now it is good number, but we can tune and increase the performance by tuning these hyperparameters and by doing various other methods. So let's in I will take this 10%. So you can see now accuracy goes to 60%. So in this way, we can increase or decrease the accuracy. Actually, we have to tune our model. Okay, so by tuning the hyperparameters. So this is for today's video, and thank you, and I hope you like this video, and stay tuned for the upcoming videos. So in the next videos we will talk about the polynomial regression and logistic regression with the help of some good examples. So thank you.